Good day, everyone. Today I'll be discussing about the military justice system. Let me first go ahead and introduce myself. I am no other than Master Sergeant Engel Matthew F. Farandia, Infantry, Philippine Army Reserve, CV-A20-000082, your Senior Tactical NCO. So, the military justice system. Pag sinabi nating military justice system, ano yung unang pumapasok sa isip natin? Usually, pag sinabing justice system, pag naririnig natin yan, automatically, ang na pumapasok sa isip natin is the negative side. Kasuhan, detention, no? Kukulong ka na, no? Kasi justice system eh. So, in the military justice system is a wide scope. It's a very wide scope, no? But we'll be discussing the overview of this as part of your ROTC subject. And I'll do my best to get into the details. But let's go ahead and try to get into the discussion. So ano ba talaga or what is military justice system? So we have four descriptions of military justice systems in here in our slide. First, we have, sabi nga, is a system of laws, rules, and procedures that govern the conduct of members of the armed forces. It ensures discipline, order, and fairness within the military organization while maintaining the rule of law and respect for human rights. It refers to the body of laws and procedures by which the military maintains discipline and administers justice among its members. It is distinct from civilian justice but shares similar goals, which is to uphold fairness, accountability, and the protection of rights. Okay, so technically, si military justice system pala ay governing guidelines, no, kung paano tayo dapat mag-act as uniformed personnel. Pag sinabi nating uniformed personnel, this governs not only the organic or the regular employees of the AFP, but also the reservists. So once you're serialized, automatic you are part of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, which you are governed as well of this military justice system. So later on, we'll look into the details. No? Ano ba yung purpose nito? Ano ba yung purpose ng military justice system? So the purpose of the military justice system is to maintain discipline and order within the ranks. So this doesn't apply only to enlisted, but also to high-ranking officers. So lahat na may serial number, lahat ng uniform personnel, we are subject to this military justice system. Next is to ensure obedience to lawful orders, to protect the rights of service members, administer justice fairly and promptly, and to strengthen morale and integrity in the armed forces. So itong mga to, these are all interrelated, no? Itong limang purpose na to. First, to maintain discipline and order within the ranks. So in discipline, if there is discipline and order within the ranks, automatically, lahat yan susunod. So we are obedient to lawful orders. So magiging masunurin tayo. Kasi nga, we have discipline eh. And merong order. Pag obedient tayo, nagiging obedient tayo dahil alam natin na yung rights natin o yung karapatan natin are protected. So ibig sabihin, nakukuha natin yung rights natin or yung mga privilege natin or yung justice na nabibigay sa atin fairly and promptly. That's number 4. And dahil fairly and promptly nakukuha natin yung rights natin, we are obedient, and because we are disciplined and with order, we have high moral. Masaya tayo. And we are doing our tasks and our jobs with integrity. No? What is integrity? Integrity is doing what is right even nobody is looking. So, yung moral and integrity natin, very high. So, we are able to function as we are expected. Ano ba yung legal basis? So, of course, in every organization or in every group, in every command, merong legal basis. Dahil pag walang legal basis, bakit natin susundin? No, just take for example yung mga nagche-checkpoint ng yung mga PNP na nagche-checkpoint. Ano ba legal basis sila ng pag-checkpoint? Meron silang mission order. No, yung mission order nila na yon will discuss why they are doing this checkpoint, with whom, dahil merong opisyal na nag-implement nito, and who are the people nakasama nila during dyan sa kanilang activity na yan. So just like that, we also have legal basis in the military justice system. First, we have the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, which provides the basis for establishing military courts. So yung military courts dyan dinidinig or hinihearing ang ating mga kaso, no? And we also have the Articles of War, or the Commonwealth Act number 408, which outlines offenses and procedures for military justice. So itong offenses and procedures for military justice, of course, meron tayong guidelines niyan, kung paano i-handle yung mga offenses na yan, and what are the punishments and what have yous. We also have the Republic Act number 7055, which defines when members of the AFP are subject to military or civilian jurisdiction. So yan yung nagiging guideline naman natin to know if nasa military jurisdiction ba to or civilian. And of course, the fourth, the AFP regulations and codes of conduct, which provide specific guidelines on discipline and conduct. So ano ba at paano ba tayo kailangan umakto as uniformed personnel? So we'll get into the details of this one by one. Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines has 2 articles which supports and authorizes the creation of the military tribunals. We have first the Article 8, Section 5, number 5. This provision gives the Supreme Court, nagsama yung dalawang article. Article 8, Section 5, number 5 muna tayo. This is the provision that gives the Supreme Court the authority to create rules for all courts, including special courts, such as military tribunals, ensuring that these bodies operate within the framework of the Constitution and under judicial oversight. And we have the Article 16, Section 5, number 7 of the 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, which is also a provision that authorizes the creation of administrative and disciplinary mechanisms, including military courts or tribunals, which is to maintain order and discipline within the armed forces of the Philippines and the police as defined by existing laws. It serves as constitutional basis for the military justice system and the conduct of internal disciplinary procedures. So dito naman ito yung dalawang provision kung bakit nagkaroon o paano nagkaroon ng military court. Again, kung saan dinidinig ang ating mga kaso. We also have the Articles of War, or the Commonwealth Act number 408, as we've discussed earlier. Ito naman yung legal code governing the discipline, conduct, and justice system within the armed forces of the Philippines. No? It outlines the rules, procedures, and offenses applicable to the military personnel. So technically, ito yun naman yung guideline kung paano tayo dapat umakto. Ano yung rules natin, procedures, ano yung offenses, paano ba ito i-hearing, ano ba yung magiging punishment nito pagka ganito, pagka ganyan. So, we will not dig into the details nung mga rules, procedures, and offenses. Napakahaba nito. So, we madidiscuss yan later on. No? Lalo na sa mga criminology students, this will be discussed to you. So as we go ahead within our ROTC, we will get to encounter these rules, procedures, and offenses. No. Next, we also have the Republic Act number 7055. Ito naman yung principle of civilian supremacy by transferring jurisdiction over civil and criminal offenses committed by members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police. So hindi lang pala AFP ang covered ditong Republic Act number 7055 or 7055, pati ang PNP. no, to the civil courts when offenses are punishable under the revised penal code or special laws. So ito naman yung nagde-decipher kung ita-transfer ng jurisdiction ang isang offense. And of course, the last, we have the AFP regulations and codes of conduct. So ito yung behavior, discipline, and performance. Ito yung standard guide natin. Ito yung kung paano ba kikilos si Master Sergeant, paano ba kikilos si officer, paano ba dapat ang behavior ni cadet, paano ba dapat ang disiplina ng isang uniform personnel. So lahat ito guided or meron tayong legal basis kung paano natin gagawin. This is not just said and done without any support or legal aspect. So, of course, dahil merong legal aspect, syempre dapat merong components, no? What are the components of military justice system? First, we have the commanding officer. Si commanding officer is the disciplinary authority over the subordinates. So, siya yung nagdidisiplina. And then we have the Provost Marshal. Si Provost Marshal or the Inspector General is responsible for investigation and discipline enforcement. Third, we have the Judge Advocate General. Ito yung mga abogado natin ng uniform personnel, no, which provides legal advice and handles prosecution or defense. So, pag may kaso, pero of course, no, it would depend upon, again, if it will be categorized as a military offense or civil offense. Katulad doon din-discuss natin kanina. Third, we have the military courts or court-martial, the tribunals that hear cases involving military personnel. So, hindi po dito hinihiring yung mga kaso ng civilians, no? Dito lang ay military personnel hinihiring sa court-martial. And third, we have the Board of Inquiry. And fifth, we have the Board of Inquiry or the summary hearing officers, which handle minor offenses and administrative matters. So kung medyo naman mababaw at pwede naman pagkasunduin at maayos, so etong si Board of Inquiry or si summary hearing officers ang mag-handle. Meron ako naalala, meron tayong isang kaibigan na reservist din. He had this 5-year relationship or 4 or 5 years yata sa isang girl. Just so happened, no? 2 years on their 2nd year anniversary as boyfriend girlfriend, pinangakuan niya ng kasal. No, pinangakuan niya ng kasal. Sadly, their relationship ended 5 years, after 5 years or 4 years yata, I'm not just sure. 4 years or 5 years. And then after a couple of months, kinasuhan siya ng girl. Yun pala, no? Yun pala. Pwede ikaso sa ating mga reservist or organic ang pagbigay ng pangako na hindi tinupad. No? So, you have to be careful with that. So, hindi dahil in love tayo ay pangako tayo ng mangako. No? Kung hindi natin kayang gawin, huwag ipapangako. No? Alam naman natin na pag in love tayo, ang dami natin, pati buwan at bituin, pinapangako natin. No? So, huwag natin gagawin yon. Kaya nga nung ako, nag-ingat ako dyan dahil nung kay Bea Alonso, nung kay naghiwalay kami nitong ex ko ni Ann Curtis, hindi ko sila pinangakuan ng kahit ano dahil natakot ako baka mamaya ay kasuhan ako, hindi. joke lang no. So anyway, let's proceed. Baka kung saan pa mapunta itong usapan natin. No? Next, let's proceed. We have the types of military offenses. Ito, baka ma-court martial ako dahil dyan. Joke lang yun, ha? Okay, we have the types of military offenses. First, the disciplinary offenses. The violation of orders, insubordination, absence without leave or able, and the neglect of duty. Actually, absence without official leave yan. AWOL. No? So, kung ito yung mga ganitong pwede naman disiplinahin lang para ito yung mga violation lang ng mga minor. Ito yung first type of military offense. Second is the criminal offense. Theft, assault, homicide, or other acts punishable under civil law. So ito yung mga medium, kumbaga medium offense. And third is the service-related offenses, no? Desertion, mutiny, conduct unbecoming an officer, espionage, etc. So ito yun naman yung mga mabibigat, service-related offenses na to. So medyo mabigat na tong mga offense na to. Ito yung medyo critical na ang lagay natin dito. No? Of course, since we have the type of military offenses, meron din tayong types of military courts. First, we have the summary court-martial, which handle minor offenses. Quick and simple procedure. Hearing, madaling matapos. Ganun lang yan. Si special court-martial, for intermediate offense, limited punishment. So, kung ito ay mga medium cases, dyan naman tayo sa special court-martial. And, of course, for serious offenses, has full authority to impose severe penalties up to the extent of law. General court-martial na ang ating ginagamit dyan. Yan na ang military court na ginagamit for yung mga serious offenses na. Okay? So, pag tayo ba, sir, ay nakasuhan, we are accused, no? Katulad din ba tayo ng mga civilian? Meron tayong rights? Well, yes, of course. Even in the military, every person is entitled to due process. Lagi natin naririnig yan. Due process dapat. Right to counsel or lawyer. Sige. You will be given the right to have a lawyer as well. Right to remain silent if you don't want to give the information, as long as you are not going against the law. So you have the right to remain silent and wait for your counsel and the due process. Right to present evidence and witness. No, yung pieces of evidence and witnesses, it is also your right to defend yourself, no? To have it, if you really need it, meron ka naman yan para hindi ka madiin. It is your right to have that pieces of evidence as well. To present, the pieces of evidence and witnesses. And of course, protection from cruel and unusual punishment. So, yung mga hindi makataong punishment, yan. Diyan, meron din naman tayong protection para dyan. So, what are the common punishments? First, reprimand or warning. Yan yung mga minor. Baka tulad nga sinabi ko, katulad yan, tusok ulo. Siguro na-experience yun na yung tusok ulo. Lalo na yung mga advanced, no? Advanced ROTC, advanced mga cadet officers natin, no? Next, we have the confinement or detention. Pag pwede ka makulong, no? Reduction in rank. So, pwedeng bumaba ang iyong rango depende sa kaso mo. Forfeiture of pay or allowances. So, pwedeng mawala ang iyong allowances. Pero yung forfeiture of pay, yes, pag medyo mabigat, no? Pwedeng mawala yung pension mo. Pinaghirapan mong pensyon na inaasahan, pwedeng mawala. Dishonorable discharge, no? You will not be given a certificate that you have worked with honor in the armed forces. Or imprisonment for serious cases. So, ito yung mga common punishments. Meron pang iba, pero ito na yung mga common muna natin ang didiscuss lang natin, ang pinag-uusapan natin. So, sa ROTC, ano ba importance ito? Sir, bakit natin ito dinidiscuss? Nasa ROTC pa lang naman kami. No? Hindi pa nga tayo sigurado kung tutuloy kami sa military life. It doesn't necessarily mean na hindi kayo tumuloy sa military life ay hindi nyo na kailangan malaman to. Remember, after your ROTC, you will be identified as a military reserve personnel. And being part of the reserve force, you are also under the military justice system. So, as an ROTC cadet or advanced cadet, this is important for you to promote discipline and accountability among cadets. This is also important because it teaches respect for authority and law. This ensures that cadets understand the consequence of misconduct. So because, again, katulad sinabi sa inyo, as part as an individual who will be issued a serial number, you are going to be part, or you are going to be governed by this military justice, or by this system that the military has, because you are going to be identified as one of the serialized or uniformed personnel. And of course, the last, this builds ethical leadership and integrity essential to military service. So, katulad nung sinabi ko sa mga nauna, no, nung orientation on the first day, ROTC means Reserve Officer Training Corps, which means we are creating officers within you, within amongst every individual. No, doesn't necessarily mean officer in the military. Doesn't necessarily mean officer in an organization. But you are an officer of yourself. Kayo mismo, officer ng sarili ninyo. You manage yourself. So the ROTC is not, the ROTC lectures, trainings is not only applicable for military personnel. This is also applicable to all individuals, no? Kung paano mo mamandohan yung sarili ninyo. The guidelines, yung mga proper behavior na itinuturo sa ROTC, sana i-apply nyo rin sa daily life nyo. This would really help a lot. No? Iwas away, iwas sa bisyo, iwas sa mga, the negative impacts in life. ROTC behavior training that would really help a lot. No? So, in conclusion, military justice system is essential to maintaining discipline, order, and professionalism within the armed forces. It ensures that military personnel act according to law, honor, and duty, values critical to national defense and service integrity. So, sabi nga, this military justice system is very important not only to aspiring soldiers. This is very important as well as we travel, as we go on our journey as individuals and as Filipinos, as citizens of this country. Yung discipline natin, yung order na pwede natin ibigay sa ating bansa para tayo ay makatulong sa progress, gawin natin. So this military justice, sabi nga, the military has the highest form of discipline, sabi nga, di ba? So if we believe that, let's try, no? Let's do our part starting today. Let's try to keep everything in order and be professional. So before I end my topic, I would like to give you something to reflect on. No? Bago matapos to, just think about this. Sagutin nyo lang sa sarili ninyo. No? Why is discipline considered the foundation of military justice? Bakit disiplina? No? Lahat ng bagay may disiplina. Kailangan ba may disiplina? Yes. Kahit mali yung ginagawa mo, disiplina pa rin yun. That is your discipline. Kaya ganyan ka. Now, let's try to look at the military discipline. No? Yung justice, yung system ng military, try natin i-apply. Might help. Number 2, how does military justice differ from civilian justice? So, ano ba yung pinagkaiba nila? Think of it. Baka sakaling ito yung maging drive mo para ikaw ay magtuloy sa military life or magtuloy sa professional career mo. But of course, guided by the military justice system. Hindi naman masama yon because again, you will be serialized, you'll be part of the reserve force after this ROTC training that you have. In what ways can military justice protect both the organization and individual rights? So paano ba? Paano ba napoprotect? No? Paano ba natin ito napoprotect? What lessons can ROTC cadets learn from understanding military law? Ano ba yung matututunan ko dito? Try to think of it. I know you have answers within you which will really help you a lot. I know there are things that you have that you will be able to consider once you try to reflect on it. No? Again, this is very important, not only as reservists, not only as organic personnel, not only as serialized personnel, but I mean serialized individuals. But of course, as a citizen of of the Republic of the Philippines, this is very important and will really help us a lot. No. So with that, thank you for listening and be great. No, let me just leave you with Amelia Earhart's saying, the most effective way to do it is to do it. Sabi nga, kung meron kang gustong abutin, huwag mong panaginipan, gawin mo. Because that is the only way that you would be able to accomplish your goal. So again, this is Master Sergeant Engel Matthew F. Arendia, your Senior Tactical Officer. Thank you for listening and God bless.